Good morning, beloveds. Whew. Okay, it's in the 70s out there, and those are the lows. The weather is getting weird. But on Saturday, we have a front coming that could drop us into the 40s. It'll be exciting. So, but we are getting close to closing out this year. So December 28th, our title is My Right Thinking is Contagious. Every being has the Buddha nature. This is the self. And that is from the Mahaparinirvana Sutra. It's a very long word. 214, and it is Mahaparinirvana. Okay, you want to look it up. My thinking is my gift to the world. Consciousness alone is the gift of life. What I do for my fellow being is important, but what I think about them is more important. My every mood is noted by those around me. They sense my peace, but they can also sense my fear. Today, all people shall find good in me and peace emanating from me. To this end, I think rightly of God and my fellow being and of the world in which I live. I affirm every person's right to be themselves. I affirm a spiritual wisdom in all people. I affirm an essential goodness born of God in all people. In all people I know. I forgive easily, for I see the unimportance of evil. I know a temporary hurt will always fall away. A right mental attitude arises within me and flows out from me to bless all those who are in my world. God is in my world and heart, and all things work together for good for me and for all others. I am a radiating activity of truth. I share the joy of spirit with all I meet, and I let out the good, the positive, and the worthwhile. I am a tower of strength and a citadel of peace. I share all that God is through my right thinking. Dedicated to truth, light, and love, I let my light shine before people and glorify my spirit, which is in heaven within me. All who contact me this day are healed, blessed, and prospered. They find in me an example of a true spiritual enthusiasm. God's joyous spirit in me prevents any emotional depression. There is no gloom where divine ideas act with authority. My smile is sincere and my hand clasp is firm. I walk uprightly and face God in every face I see. My work is easy and my burden is light, for I am relying on God's truth at the center of my being. I cause no fear and reveal no inner tension. There is peace in my soul, and I reflect it automatically. Releasing good in all directions, I rejoice, give thanks, and am glad. All good is where I am, and I drink deeply of the living waters of truth. This divine completion makes the world a better place, and my fellow being a finer person. I radiate God. All right. So, the very first line is my thinking is my gift to the world. Consciousness alone is the gift of life. Because think about it. When you rehearse interactions beforehand, try it. When especially if you're going to do something that you would prefer not to. When you think about the interaction, think about that person that you are about to have this interaction with in the most positive light, in the most loving light, in the most, think of them as a fellow godling. Think of them as a beloved child of God. Think of them as the best version of themselves. Think of them like God thinks of them, and see if that doesn't change the way you interact. Because the energy you carry into the meeting will translate into how that interaction goes. If you walk into it afraid, if you walk into it angry, if you walk into it, whatever emotion you carry into it, that's going to dictate how that interaction goes. So why not consciously, ground and center yourself in love, ground and center them in your mind in love, and see if that doesn't change the way you interact. There's science on this. There's good science. And I mean, I have personal experience with this. And I've mentioned it before, where I had an interaction with the cashier and I was the supervisor, and it went badly. And then the next day when we both came into work, and I encountered her in the bathroom. She was still scared that I was going to be angry about yesterday. And I was over it, I was over it. And I said, good morning, how are you doing? And she cried. She cried. And then she told me later, because she was afraid I was still going to be angry. And she was so relieved that I wasn't. So, so it changes, Yeah, I was mad. I was mad the day before. But I let it go and decided, to see her as, because she was a good employee. I mean, she had her moments, but we all do. And so, I let it go. And so that next morning she was scared and I wasn't. And, I was just, hey, how are you doing? And so when you can give that gift to people, and more importantly, give that gift to yourself, because if I'd come in still holding the grudge from yesterday, then our interaction all day would have been tense. But I didn't. And so it was a good day. And so that's what we're talking about by right thinking. That's what we're talking about consciousness. And that's what we talk about, giving people a free pass through your head, through a free pass through your mind. If you can think about them in a positive light and ground and center yourself in love, ground and center them in your thoughts in love, it will change the way you interact with them. And it has this ripple effect, because I was on duty as a supervisor. She was on duty as a cashier. She had a good interaction with me that morning. Then that made her happier. And so she was more pleasant to her customers for the rest of the day. So then the customers had a pleasant interaction with her. And then they can go, see, it just ripples out. And you never know the lives that you're going to touch. So, right thinking, kindness, compassion, grounding yourself, practicing interactions that you are concerned about beforehand, and practicing them in that grounded space can make a world of difference. Literally a world of difference. So, my right thinking is contagious. Every being has the Buddha nature. This is the self, which is from that sutra telling us, which we already know. We come with Christ installed, we already have that nature installed. Therefore, let's use it. So, my right thinking is my gift to the world. My kindness, my compassion, just right there within my own head, with myself, with other people, it will change the way I will interact with people, with people in real life. Consciousness alone is the gift of life. So much we do on autopilot, so much we do by habit, so much we do by rote, so much we do unconsciously, that consciousness really is a gift. When we make a conscious choice to be kind, to, all of that. What I do for my fellow beings is important, but what I think about them is more important. And that's what we're talking about, what I think about them. If I think about them as the beloved child of God, if I think about them as a godling, that's really the gift there. Because it will literally change the way I interact with them. My every mood is noted by those around me. They sense my peace, but they can also sense my fear. To this end, today, all people shall find good in me and peace emanating from me. that is what I want. I want to be that island of calm. I want to be that restful relaxation. I want you to feel safe when you come into my presence. And so I do my spiritual work so that you can have that when you come into my presence. It doesn't matter what kind of day you're having when you come into my presence. I want there to be peace. And then we can see if we can change your day. You up level your day. I mean, if you're having a peaceful day, great, then we're going to vibe together. To this end, I think rightly of God, my fellow beings, and of the world in which I live. I affirm every person's right to be themselves. And that is one of the things, is like, when you come into my presence, the peace that I offer you is the ability to be who you really are. I don't want you to have to wear a mask. I don't want you to have to change. I don't want you to have to hide who you are. I want you to feel safe being who you are. I want you to have the permission to be who you are, so you don't have to work extra hard around me. And that is, one of the best gifts that we can give other people is that they feel safe being who they are in front of us. I affirm a spiritual wisdom in all people. I affirm an essential goodness born of God in all people that I know. All right? Because I know that everyone comes with that Christ software pre-installed. Everyone is a beloved child of God. That is the goodness that I know in them. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're not showing it. Okay, well, I can still affirm that they know who they are, that they remember who they are. And I don't have to do it in front of them. I am welcome to do it from a safe space over here. The benefit of treatment from a distance. I forgive easily, for I see the unimportance of evil. It is a misuse. And when they know who they are, they will use the law correctly. So that's all I got to do, is know that they know who they are. I know a temporary hurt will always fall away. A right mental attitude arises within me and flows out from me to bless all who are in my world. And this is that kindness, that compassion, that love. This is giving people free passage through my head. This is not thinking ill of people for any reason. It's yes, you may have done me wrong, but I'm going to take that lesson. I may not give you the opportunity to wrong me in that way again, but I'm going to know that you're a beloved child of God. I am going to forgive you. Or sometimes I need to forgive me, because, I'm the one that's screwed up. Because it happens. God is in my mind and heart, and all things work together for the good of me and for the good of all others. It's like, I know where God is. God is all around me, but God is also within me, and that's the important thing for me to know. It's like, I know where God is. I know how to access God. God is not way up there. God is right here within me. I am a radiating activity of truth. I share the joy of spirit with all I meet. And the cool thing about sharing the joy of spirit is I don't have to do or say anything other than be me. If I am authentically me, then I am authentically sharing the joy of spirit. And when people are free to be their authentic selves in front of me, then they are sharing the joy of spirit with me. Even if we're not talking in religious terms, especially if we're not talking in religious terms. I let out the good, the positive, and the worthwhile. I am a tower of strength and a citadel of peace. I just like that line. That's just cool. And I can be a tower of strength and I can be a citadel of peace because I know where that strength is coming from. It is not coming from me. It is coming through me. And it is coming from an inexhaustible source. Okay? A source that is not bound by time and not bound by space. That is everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. I share all that God is through my right thinking. which means I don't have to stand on a street corner and preach. I just have to be me. And that is the coolest thing. Dedicated to truth, light, and love, I let my light shine before people and glorify my God, which is in heaven within me. All right? I let my light shine, glorify my God, which is in heaven, which is in me. Where is heaven? You carry it within you, and it reflects in the world around you. All who contact me this day are healed, blessed, and prospered because because I am a safe space. That's why. And it starts that healing process for people when they're free to be themselves around you. They find in me an example of a true spiritual enthusiasm. I don't have to preach to them. I just get to be me. I get to be that beloved child of God. I get to be that loving child of God. I get to be that compassionate child of God. And that's it. That's all I have to do. God's joyous spirit in me prevents any emotional depression. Yeah, Now, we can discuss chemical depression. We can discuss all the other reasons that there are. So if you are suffering from any of that, please talk to your doctor. Please do what you need to do to take care of that. But remember, God's got you, all right? I am a big proponent of, yes, please treat, please pray. But Ernest said that a pill is of God. So if you are having an emotional depression, don't think that God's the only thing that can fix it, because doctors are God-given as well. Prescriptions are God-given as well. So especially during the holiday season, if you need the extra support, please take it. Don't think that you are not doing everything right if you can't pray your depression away. All right? I took a prescription for 2 years, and it's literally saved my life. There is no gloom where the divine ideas act with authority, and that includes the doctor's office. My smile is sincere, and my hand clasp is firm. I walk upright and face God in every face I see, which is that phrase that Reverend Jesse likes to use, Jove nods to Jove. The spirit within me recognizes the spirit within you. And sometimes the spirit within me recognizes the spirit within you, even when neither of us are acting like it. It's like, we know who we are. So the greatest gift that you can give to someone else is to recognize the spirit within them. My work is easy, my burden is light, for I am relying on God's truth at the center of my being. I cause no fear and reveal no inner tension. If I know who I am, then ideally I will cause no fear in myself or in others. There is a peace in my soul, and I reflect it automatically. Releasing good in all directions, I rejoice, give thanks, and am glad. I think that's the mission for today, by the way. All good is where I am, and I drink deeply of the living waters of truth. I look for the good and praise it. That's how I drink the waters of truth. I look for the good and praise it. This divine completion makes the world a better place and my fellow being a finer person, including me, which is why I do my spiritual practice every day. I radiate God. All right, so there's a lot of really good stuff in here. Our mission today could be being dedicated to truth, light, and love. Let our light shine before people. Or the mission, should we choose to accept it, could be releasing good in all directions. Rejoice, give thanks, and be glad. Which honestly is kind of the same thing. But the mission today, and the mission today, the mission every day, is to radiate God, to radiate peace, to be that island of we know who we are, and people are safe in our presence, and people are safe in our heads. So, that's the mission. As always, I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. It is a spiritual practice to do that. And it can be as simple as 3 deep breaths, or it can be a nice long walk. It could be a nap, whatever it is that you need to do to ground yourself in that love, ground yourself in that peace, ground yourself in that spirit. Every day. Every day. Because yes, it's a spiritual practice, but I also want it to be a habit. Your first response to whatever is going on around you can be love, can be kindness, can be compassion. And that is one of the ways that you can give people a pass through your head. You can think kindly of them if you've practiced on yourself. All right? And that's what it takes. It takes 21 days to make a habit. That's why I say it every day. All right. I also do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I had a nice bike ride today. So that was good. It's a little warm. So I was like, yeah, let's make some wind. I would encourage you to get a face full of sun. The weather, the clouds, I don't know. I did get a little bit of sun first thing this morning, and then it got cloudy, and now the sun's back out. And also drink plenty of water. Hydrate. Super important. Very good for you. And whatever else you do, open the windows of your soul. Allow I say it every day and I can't say it today. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. It's all around you, just as God is all around you all the time. So look for the good and praise it, because when you look for it, you find it. When you find it, it multiplies. That's the cool thing about good. So, it's the week between Christmas and New Year's. I have no idea if there's anything going on. It's also Tuesday, and I really don't think there's anything going on Tuesdays. So, but email info@creativelife.org if you want to know for sure. There is on New Year's Eve a burning bowl, but it will be virtual. It will be by Zoom, because the minister that leads that is a hospice chaplain, and she's just going to reduce the risk, because she does work in COVID wards. So that will be by Zoom. So if you want that link, it's a wonderful thing if you've never done it. So please check that out. That should be on Friday, because Friday is New Year's Eve. All right. Other than that, have a great day, an amazing day, a wonderful day, an enchanting day, a magical day, a peaceful day, a rejoicing day, a dedicated day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.